The little girl hid motionless inside a suitcase in her room, her tiny body curled up in fear. Peering through the narrow gap, she anxiously observed the situation outside. Suddenly, the door lock was broken, and a flexible tube was inserted through the gap, releasing an unknown gas into the room. Meanwhile, her mother was still outside checking the electrical panel. The woman noticed that the repair truck from this morning was still parked nearby. Its tires had been slashed, and the electrician inside had been murdered at some unknown time. Lisa was shocked, but an alarming thought struck her. Her daughter was in danger. Without hesitation, she sprinted home as fast as she could. But by the time she arrived, her daughter was already gone, taken by the intruders. On the bed, a photograph had been left behind. The man in the photo was none other than her husband, a former Special Forces soldier who had disappeared 2 years ago. Elsewhere, an elderly woman with silver hair was carefully packing several stacks of cash, hiding them inside a freezer full of frozen meat. Then, she took out a long-barreled shotgun, aimed it under her chin, and prepared to end her life. But before she could pull the trigger, the door suddenly burst open. Standing there was Lisa, who had just lost her daughter. The silver-haired woman, Aunt May, was Lisa's landlord and lived nearby. Lisa told Aunt May that her husband had kidnapped their daughter and that he was a ruthless killer who had been on the run for a long time. However, Aunt May remained unusually calm, showing no sign of panic. The two women decided to drive to the police station, but no matter how hard they tried, the car wouldn't start. When they lifted the hood to check, they found a ticking time bomb hidden inside. Aunt May quickly pulled Lisa aside to take cover. Not far away, a man wearing night vision goggles was watching them closely. He pressed a button on the timer, then slowly dragged a small cart into the dense forest. The box on the cart contained the little girl. Aunt May immediately released her hunting dogs, saying they would track down Lisa's husband. She then opened a secure safe and took out several real weapons. Lisa was stunned by Aunt May's actions. She tried to explain, "You don't understand my husband. He's an ex-military man. After leaving the army, he did terrible things in Central America and became a wanted criminal. He's highly trained and an expert in explosives. We're no match for him." But Aunt May remained unfazed as she prepared everything. Clearly, this old woman was no ordinary landlord.